and watch the chef cook.
You want 17 birds? Big ring, I play for the 17 birds. Hit my line if you want 17 birds. Big ring, I play for the 17 birds. I know a guy if you want 17 birds. Big ring, I play for the 17 birds. I know a guy if you want 17 birds. Big ring, I play for the 17 birds. Yeah, I'm from the 17.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Lil Brunson back at you with the back at you, and I am the best reporting on the Eagles. Listen, before we get into the meat and potatoes, I gotta let you know that this video is brought to you by PhillySportsTrips.com. So make sure you get with the people at PhillySportsTrips.com if you want to attend the Week 3 matchup when the Philadelphia Eagles travel to FedEx Field. Listen, get you a beautifully chauffeured ride from the Philadelphia area down to FedEx Field. Amazing tailgate, tickets included with the package as well to the game. Sit amongst a bunch of great Eagles fans for a road victory. Week 3 against the Washington Commanders is going to be lit. Also, tap in with my people with the Relevant app. We got a crazy chat going on right now. Remember the chat I had? Remember Flick Chat? Flick Chat was crazy. Uncensored, unfiltered. Y'all know how it is, man. The bullies taking that same action over to the Relevant app. So all you got to do is download the app, join up, get into an ongoing, never-ending Eagles conversation, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's just going to be lit. So, I'm going to put the link for the description as that as well. And let's talk about it, man. Tomorrow the season kicks off. The season kicks off tomorrow. I took a break yesterday from uploading content because we about to get into the long haul of what's going on. Lunchtime with the bullies is about to be in full swing. GOAT talk every week. Listen, we just got a lot going on. So I gave myself a minute to soak in the ambiance of this beautiful season that we about to have as Philadelphia Eagles fans, and it's going to be a great one. And in doing that, you know what I mean, I have to, really look at the Howie Roseman interview that he had with WIP yesterday when he mentioned that, he felt some sort of regret, not drafting Justin Jefferson over Jalen Reagor. Now, listen, I understand that. I understand where you're coming from. But this is my thing on it. Now, everybody feels the same regret. You know what I mean? Everybody feels some type of way about the situation, but it was like 20 other teams that passed on him before we passed on him. So, is it really that serious to still be harboring on it, especially since that wasn't the temperature when Reagor was in the building? Now, I understand the politics of it. You're not going to sit here and say that, Jalen Reagor was a mistake. No, you're going to continue to work with him for as long as you're going to work with him. But now that he's out the building, it's all this regret that you're feeling. It's too late for the regret because before Jalen Reagor left the building, Devontae Smith, Quez Watkins, and A.J. Brown were already in place. So you already kind of bounced back from it. You know what I'm saying? And that should have been a correct response from Howie Roseman. The response should have been this when asked about the Justin Jefferson situation. It doesn't matter anymore. We have a great wide receiver core, and you have a great wide receiver core. Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, it's a great wide receiver core. Probably the best wide receiver core we've had in the history of the game. Yes, you missed on Justin Jefferson. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And it is what it is at this point because you bounced back and you made those things right. We have adequate and we have above average wide receiver play. Some might even say it's elite wide receiver play. We have elite wide receiver play at this point, man. And I'm fine with it either way. So I think him still harboring on it after you just paid A.J. Brown and after you drafted a Heisman winner Devontae Smith, it just don't make sense. That was the perfect opportunity for Howie Roseman to big up the guys that he got in his wide receiver room, if you asking me. Now let's talk about the Detroit Lions matchup, man. This is the first keys to victory, you know what I mean, for the season, man. And it's I'm happy, man, that we to this point, man. There's been a lot of talking, you know what I mean, a lot of great moves being made by the organization, and now we're finally to this point. It's time to talk about the keys to victory and how the Philadelphia Eagles can go about beating the Detroit Lions. Now, listen, the Detroit Lions are a team we played last year. They still got the same quarterback. They still got some of the same main pieces. And they still have, the same coaching staff for the most part as well. We were able to get 5 sacks on the Detroit Lions last year. And we were second to last in sacks coming into the, at the end of the season last year. We weren't a team that got that many volumes of sacks in multiple games. I think, the way that you beat these guys is the same way you beat them the last time. If you don't want to overthink it, put pressure on Jared Goff, which you should be able to do easily now because Brandon Graham is back with the addition of Hassan Reddick. The way that you could use our linebackers to blitz now, you know what I mean? Sweat, who's available for this game, had 2 sacks in that game. Derek Barnett even had a sack in that game. You know what I mean? So I'm saying, you can get to the quarterback in this game. And Jared Goff is not going to want to, he's not one of those mobile guys. He's not going to leave the pocket much, man. If the pocket collapses on him, the play pretty much over. And I think we got the wave of defenders to keep, sending that Jared Goff. So the first step from me would be to, make sure you put an adequate pressure on Jared Goff, especially in passing downs. Now, I will say this. If they're smart, they're going to plan to get the ball out of Jared Goff's hands fast. They're going to plan to get the ball out of his hands fast. But we put together such a good team, like you can't go nowhere fast. You can't go nowhere fast. Listen, I felt this defense was much improved. But, when you got Gardner Johnson, man, the defense should be at another level, in my opinion. The defense should be at another level, in my opinion. And I don't see Detroit scoring more than 17 points on us. I just don't see it. They still can't stretch the field. They're heavily relying on second-year wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown to come out there and and really be that guy. They need help stretching the field, which is why they drafted a wide receiver in the first round last year, but he's not even going to play. Probably won't even play the whole season. So this will be a red shirt year for him. So they need help. They're expecting big things out of Aiden Hutchinson, but our offensive line is healthy. Listen, the Philadelphia Eagles being 100% healthy is what ultimately gives us the edge. We're not missing no pieces. Everybody, this is week one. Week one can be tricky to judge. I understand that because everybody's healthy and you can get your best shot from any team week one. You can get caught slipping. It's definitely a game on the road, but our talent and the way that this roster is built, we should be perfectly fine on the road. Darius Slay knows the place. You know what I mean? We should take this. This should be light work. I'm going to keep it 100. Now, people within the division going to want to tell us that Detroit should be scary. We should be worried about Detroit. I don't think so. I don't think we should be worried about Detroit. Because after we win the game, people are still going to find ways to criticize the team and say we should have blew Detroit out. You know what I mean? If it's close, they're not going to be satisfied. If we lose, they're not going to be satisfied. I'm only satisfied with the win. And I think we got more pieces than Detroit got to be able to get this win. Now, the second key would be, the first 15 scripted plays from the Philadelphia Eagles. You know what I mean? You don't want to start slow against a team like Detroit. Now, listen, expect to see a slow start in this game because we didn't get a lot of snaps in preseason. Expect to see some penalties, some things you got to clean up. It's game one, man. It's game one. So expect to see some of those things. Remember, we started slow against Atlanta last year. And then we end up picking it up as the game went along. But, I think these 15 scripted plays the emphasis have to be on getting the ball in the hands of the playmakers. And you got a lot of them, man. You got a lot of playmakers, man. You can hit some of these running backs in space with your first 15 scripted plays. You can hit A.J. Brown in space. You can hit Devontae Smith in space. You can hit Dallas Goedert. The first 15 scripted plays, none of them should really call for you using anything like a read option or having your quarterback running. You got way too many weapons, man. And with the strides that I see Jalen Hurts, taken during training camp and during towards the tail end of the season, how he was getting better and how he was learning the game and the game is slowing down for him. I expect Jalen Hurts to be really, really proficient throwing the ball, somewhere around 275 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, while keeping a stable rushing attack. Like that's what I foresee for the Philadelphia Eagles, week one. So I think the Eagles are going to take care of business by the score of 28-17. We're going to start this thing off 1-0, 28 points in week one against an opponent that we should beat. And I'm not too worried about Detroit. Now, if you lose, listen, it's a possibility. But I just don't think the Philadelphia Eagles are going to drop the ball week one against Detroit. I know it's a road game, and I think we take care of business 28-17. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. What is your score predictions, and what do you think some of the keys to victory are to ensuring that we get this W?